Hi, welcome back. So we're pressing on with this reskin or conversion to the template system from the old separate page system for PlayBASIC. A number of pages have been updated, so the home is actually working the way it should be. We've got half a dozen of these pages done, so things that have banners on them, they're not displaying, but our left-hand side here is consistent throughout. If you don't define what's on the left panel, you get a standard menu and a scroller. So whatever I want to put on the side there will just appear across the whole site. Of course, some pages haven't been touched yet, so that's the legacy version of it. And the contact page here is what I was doing today, or this afternoon actually. Ran into a few problems because the page itself didn't work. If we check out the support page of the online version currently, if I hit send mail without filling the page in, it's actually it's calling the send mail code on the server. Whereas it should catch these fields here not being filled in, and because that JavaScript's not running properly, and I wasn't quite sure why actually. So to get this working, if I hit send mail over here, you get the obligatory sort of, hey, fill this form in, dude. All that annoying stuff, right? But it just helps reel people into the stuff that we actually need. Good. So what I'll do is I'll use the same things as before. If the fields are actually not correct, there'll be a hidden div above the field that's broken. So when you hit submit, it'll be revealed with the message to stop having the alerts. Down the bottom here, there'll be some sort of character count for the body here too. So if you enter in messages that are too long, you get a warning. That was accepted because it couldn't see any obvious reasons for that not to be accepted. So at the moment, it's getting sent nowhere because the actual sending action is not complete. Let's jump across the code. So template system here is pretty much, we've evolved a bit further. If we go to the bottom with doing the page processing, so you call template process the template. Got some default stuff built in there. Because the old site had data that was separated from each other, so the titles were stored inside the PHP code. There was the text itself was stored in these documents that it loads. Just so I can edit the text from the code separately. That's the way I wanted it to work. But there's all of this secondary code everywhere. It's driving me nuts. So index page pulls the home page text file. It's just the text file with some square bracket markup in it. And we still have these two basic tags. We've got our page title and our page body. So that's the index page, community, download page, features, privacy, resources page. The ordering page is done. Contact here is what the email drives the email page. The actual code itself is this. That's it. So to run that form, that's all you're doing. So we're pretty much converting this back into how underwear design works. We've got a collection of these engine includes, you include, and they all just get called through the same same PHP code. The only difference between them is that you're differentiating what page you're calling based on a variable passed through the URL. Here we're just using the PHP files separately. That fits in with how it's already done. I can't really change that. I was thinking of this before, because now if we have old links that people might have out there, they'll be broken, etc. So in the short term, I'll keep the files the same, and then we'll worry about whether we keep that pattern or not later on. The actual page, this is a new variation of the same idea as before. This is the actual the email form code. This is the contact email form. These things have different blocks in them, so you can declare a section. If you need JavaScript on your page, you can declare a section of having any custom JavaScript that this page needs that nothing else on the website is going to be using. So it just runs through and does a bit of verification. I've got a style just tucked away in there. I was just testing it before. And they've got an email form itself. That's the style that creates the gaudy looking red colour up here, which will be hidden. You know, you won't see this stuff. It'll just pop up when you make an error. It feels a bit better than having an alert box. So the forms is a straight standard form. There's nothing special about it. Old as the hills, that stuff. There is one trick, I guess, in these, is that on the email page we have two content. We have the form content, and we have the text content. So when we look at the page, you've got this text here which comes from somewhere else. That's inserted in the form here, is inserted into the page. Technically, the way it's implemented, the form can be implemented into any page on here, except the submission stuff wouldn't work, because it needs to be, when you hit submit, it has to pass to a bit of code that takes the uploaded data and then fashions that into an email to send through. It's quite convoluted, the whole process actually. That doesn't mean the server at the other end is going to allow it to be sent, because it does more elaborate checks. It'll check for code in each field and a whole plethora of things actually. Just in case bots are trying to send crap maliciously through your page, which can be a problem apparently. It's not my field, it's not my. Just kind of, I do this stuff on a need to know basis pretty much. So it's all very basic stuff, but it works well enough, and we've got enough robustness in place now. I think that we should be able to make the next transitions easier, and this is already starting to feel more consistent already. I haven't implemented the menu changes yet. I will do that. With the order page, I've just made a quick hack of that page actually. I'm going to have to make a version of this outer template here that is to match the old behavior of the original site. That doesn't have, it's only a single column, doesn't have the two columns, so this menu here wouldn't be there, etc. I'll have to change ordering companies as well. Won't that be fun? I think the contact page is probably the most awkward one to implement, because it has the submission process as well. So it's kind of, when we submit something, we're going to make sure that data is correct. If it's correct within the best we can work out, then we send the email and we have to report this back to the user. So we have to display a version of this page here that says, yep, that was sent, thanks for that. Whereas other pages, like the tools, for example, which is not implemented at the moment, we're just pulling their a secondary bit of code that grabs this tool data here and displays it. So if you don't provide something in the URL, if you do this, for example, see it's got PlayBASIC and DLL up here, the tool specifically. If you don't select something, it just displays them all, and then it goes, okay, well, we can put more data on screen if you're going to just show each one individually. We have our little navigation controls in the bottom to run through them. We probably should actually just have a list of the available tools on screen all the time, just to make sure those URLs are easy to pick up by search engines. When I looked at our listings on Google, and it's just terrible. But on Bing and on DuckDuckGo, we've been indexed pretty well. Apparently, the problems with this is that the size is too small for mobiles. So we'll have to have a go at addressing that. I think we can just actually have, we have this scaled up for a bit. We'll go back to the start here. You can do it in your browser, just by scaling it up by a factor of whatever. But if we have a version of that where we can set the controls, at the top of the template we can have like a scaler, that might work. Because it might work, it won't be as fantastic as what having a modern resizing CSS website can do, and all of the bells and whistles that people can do with those things, which I have no idea. Wouldn't have a clue, mate. But I'm pretty sure we can work out the size of the device and then do a bit of pre-scaling on our end and give them something that does fill up the screen better. If you had, in this case here, a scaling of 150 would be, 160 would go pretty well, and it won't be scaled up. It'll just be actually this width of the main table will be wider, and these will be scaled to accommodate those. Well, that's the theory anyway. I don't know. I'll give it a go. If I get it to work, great. If I can't get it to work that great, well, we'll have to wait until we get something running on Bootstrap. So this is the code that does the tools refresh. We'll pull over to here, have a look. Because I updated this page, well, recently, as you know, just a couple of weeks ago now, I did actually take some liberties and modify this a bit then. So pretty much all we're doing here is we're going, give me a variable from the URL, and it pre-sanitizes that. So we're going, just make sure that people aren't trying to inject stuff through the URL. We do a quick test. We go, hey, if there's nothing in tools, just checking the string length, and go, all right, if there's nothing, if we're not looking at a particular tool, let's just go and set the page title to all tools. Otherwise, specifically list out the tool we want to look at. That's our page header, which is built into this particular thing here, but that won't be the case when it's added. I'm pretty sure as long as we are pulling that our tool variable here and passing it through, we should be okay. Get this tool file. There's a bit of Java there. Script. Okay. Oh, it's to download the tool. There's a CSS built in there. Article container. That should be the global thing actually. So that container there is for. Sorry, we'll go back to standard size. That container must be the width of this area across here, 680 pixels. So I think if we double that, I think the website's 800 wide. If we went up to a design, if we just doubled that out to, not doubled, but if we made it something like, not 1200, but certainly well over 1,000 pixels wide, probably about that wide there, I guess. We still get a good cross section of support, and that should make those videos too look better. We could probably have in resources over here, on gallery actually. We probably should have like a picture gallery and a videos gallery. That would be a good way of linking, getting all that video content brought across, and then pulling the descriptions of those things, or maybe even the text from those things, and putting them in the description areas on here. Not that my rambling garbage is anything much to go by, but it's more text content for bots to get stuck into. Because we just don't have lots of text. That's on the forums over here. We need that passed across into here. We need to make sure that people have a clear association between the two things. Anyway, I get stuck into those tomorrow. The email thing, the contact page is pretty much working, and I'm pretty sure that once I get one of these pages, like the tools or tutorials or whatever, they all use basically the same framework. The gallery one, I might tackle that. I might try and tweak that up at the same time. So, the FAQ on there as well. Actually, FAQs, we've got a bunch of different FAQs, and I don't think people are aware of this. They don't see. I think we should have the links laid out the top up here, like just pre-laid out the top. I don't know, and maybe it sort of highlights the one you're currently looking at or something like that, and then you can browse the ones down below. I know in Bootstrap you've got these animation controls for doing those kind of things. So you can actually do I've used it before, and I forget what it was for now. I think it was like that's right, it was the PlayBASIC, the DLL docs. They use Bootstrap. I think there's a Q&A in there or something like that. I've forgotten now. But anyway, you can do exactly that thing. It's got a bunch of these pre-built in styles for doing this kind of stuff. They do have this kind of reveal thing. I mean, people like those animations, and I like it. I do like it to be more like feeling like it's more interactive than a static piece of whatever. Anyway, that's it for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.